with just one road, one supermarket, and 0 ATMs. A place so low-lying that the ocean seems to be within arm's reach, constantly threatening to swallow it whole. It's one of the least visited and most isolated countries in the world, yet it holds an undeniable beauty. Welcome to Tuvalu, where simplicity reigns, and breathtaking charm graces every inch of its white sands and crystal-clear shores. Are you ready to uncover this hidden gem? Did you know that nestled within the relentless waves of the Pacific Ocean lies a stunning collection of volcanic islands, rich in natural beauty and a unique culture like no other? And that's not even the shocking part. Wait until you hear about this particular country in Oceania that is so low-lying it seems to float on the ocean. Of course, we're talking about Tuvalu, a country whose very existence is a delightful mystery just waiting to be unraveled. Before we begin, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support gives us the extra motivation to create more awe-inspiring videos like this one. Ready? Here we go. Here are 20 jaw-dropping facts about life in Tuvalu that will surprise even the most seasoned traveler. 1. The country is made up. Entirely of atolls, Tuvalu consists of 9 atolls, which are narrow strips of land. 2. One of the smallest countries in the world. Covering just 26 square kilometers, Tuvalu is the 4th smallest country in the world, following Vatican City, Monaco, and Nauru. You could walk across some of its islands in mere minutes. 3. A population smaller than a small town. Despite its tiny size, Tuvalu's population is only about 11,000 people, making it the second least populated UN member state. 4. At risk of disappearing. With an elevation of just 2 meters above sea level, Tuvalu is in constant danger of sinking due to rising sea levels caused by climate change. It's one of the most vulnerable nations in the world. 5. No visa required. Tuvalu has one of the most liberal visa policies. Visitors from any country can explore these beautiful islands without a visa. Just show up and enjoy. 6. A cash-only economy. Credit cards are not used here, and there are no ATMs on the islands. Life in Tuvalu operates on a cash-only basis, making it a truly unique financial experience in the 21st century. 7. No standing army. Tuvalu is one of the few countries in the world with no standing military. It remains peaceful and secure, relying on its isolation and international diplomacy for protection. 8. The world's narrowest capital. The capital, Funafuti, is a thin strip of land that in some places is only 20 meters wide. You can see the ocean on both sides at once. 9. Former British colony Tuvalu was part of the Gilbert and Ellice Islands, a British colony. After independence in 1978, the Ellice Islands became Tuvalu, while the Gilbert Islands became Kiribati. 10. Its name means 8 standing together. Though Tuvalu consists of 9 islands today, the name originally reflected the 8 inhabited islands at the time of independence. 11th. A profitable internet domain. Tuvalu's country code, .tv, is highly sought after by television networks and streaming services, bringing in significant revenue for the nation. 12th. Rich marine life. Tuvalu's waters are home to rare sea creatures like skipjack tuna, pantropical spotted dolphins, and even killer whales. Its marine reserves are a diver's paradise. 13th. Traditional sport. Tano Tuvalu has its own intense traditional sport called tano, similar to volleyball, but played with a hard ball that players strike with the backs of their hands. 14. 2 official languages. The people of Tuvalu are bilingual, speaking both Tuvaluan and English. If you visit, you'll hear phrases like "faka," please, and "fakalasi," thank you. 15th. Least visited country in the world. Despite its beauty and open-door policy, Tuvalu is the least visited country, receiving only about 3,500 tourists per year. 16. The airport doubles as a playground. With limited space, the Funafuti International Airport's runway serves as a recreational area when no flights are scheduled. An air raid siren warns locals to clear the runway. 17. Unreliable internet. Internet connectivity in Tuvalu is notoriously slow and unreliable. Don't expect to live stream your vacation. You might be better off sending messages via carrier pigeon. 18. Strong community ties. Tuvaluans cherish community and family life. Meals are often enjoyed together, with simple dishes centered around fish, coconut, and taro. 19th. Threat of climate change refugees. Due to the constant threat of rising sea levels, Tuvaluans are at risk of becoming climate refugees, potentially needing to relocate to other countries in the future. 20. Beautiful traditional dancing. Tuvalu's cultural heritage includes vibrant traditional dances like the fatele, performed at celebrations and gatherings. These dances tell stories of the island's history and traditions. Leaders. Head of State, King Charles III, represented by a Governor-General. Prime Minister, Fileti Teo. Fileti Teo was appointed Prime Minister following the January 2024 general elections. He succeeded Kausea Natano, who former Prime Minister Kausea Natano lost his seat in an election which was closely watched by Taiwan, China, US, and Australia amid a geopolitical tussle for influence in the South Pacific. Tuvalu is one of Taiwan's few remaining Pacific allies. Nauru cut ties in January 2024 with Taiwan and switched to Beijing, which had promised more development help. Teo, who was educated in New Zealand and Australia, was Tuvalu's first Attorney General. He has decades of experience as a senior official in the Regional Fisheries Organization and has worked with the Pacific Islands Forum, the region's major political and economic group. Fishing is a major source of revenue in the Pacific Islands. Tuvalu has no political parties. Allegiances revolve around personalities and geography. The 15-member parliament is popularly elected every 4 years. The Prime Minister is chosen by MPs. Media freedom is respected in Tuvalu, but the market is very small. The government operates Radio Tuvalu. Many islanders use satellite dishes to watch foreign TV stations. Some key dates in Tuvalu's history. 14th century AD, Samoans, Tongans, and settlers from other Polynesian islands migrate to the islands 1568 and 1595. Spaniard Alvaro Mendana de Neira sights the islands of Nui and Niulakita on 2 separate expeditions. 1819, a ship owned by British MP Edward Ellis visits Funafuti. The captain names the island Ellis Island. Later, this name was applied to all 9 atolls. 1850 to 75, blackbirding, the kidnapping of islanders for forced labor on plantations in Fiji and Queensland, and the introduction of European diseases reduces the population from 20,000 to 3,000. In 1863, Peruvian slave traders kidnapped 400 islanders, nearly 2/3 of the population of the islands of Funafuti and Nuku'alofa. 1877. Britain sets up the Western Pacific High Commission with its headquarters in Fiji. The Ellis Islands and other island groups come under its jurisdiction. 1892. Britain declares a joint protectorate over the Ellis Islands and the Gilbert Islands. 1916. The Gilbert and Ellis Islands Colony is formed. Over the next 20 years, other island groups, including the Line Islands and the Phoenix Islands, join the colony. 1974. Ethnic tensions result in more than 90% of the mainly Polynesian Ellis Islanders voting for separation from the predominantly Micronesian Gilbert Islands. 1975. Ellis Islands become a separate British dependency under the pre-colonial name of Tuvalu, meaning 8 standing together, which refers to the 8 populated atolls. 1978. Tuvalu becomes independent. The Gilbert Islands become independent at the same time as Kiribati. 1986. Votes to remain an independent constitutional monarchy with the British monarch at its head. 1989, UN lists Tuvalu as one of a number of island groups most likely to disappear beneath the sea in the 21st century because of global warming. 2000, Tuvalu joins the United Nations. 2001, New Zealand offers to resettle islanders threatened by rising sea levels. Tuvalu says it will take legal action, along with Kiribati and the Maldives, against the U.S. for its refusal to sign the Kyoto Protocol, an international agreement to cut greenhouse gas emissions. 2008, Tuvalu again votes to remain an independent constitutional monarchy with the British monarch at its head, though the referendum turnout is low, 21%. 2022. Amid rivalry between China and Taiwan for diplomatic recognition from Pacific states, Tuvalu's Prime Minister Kosea Natano reaffirms its commitment to Taiwan on a state visit to Taipei. Tuvalu announces plans as the first country in the world to build a self-digital replica in the metaverse in order to preserve its cultural heritage in the face of rising sea levels. 2023, Prime Minister Natano signs Falapili Union Treaty with Australia that will allow Tuvaluan citizens facing displacement from climate change to immigrate to Australia. In exchange, the agreement allows Australia veto power over Tuvalu's foreign security agreements. As we reflect on the fate of Tuvalu, we are faced with an urgent reality that goes beyond statistics, borders, and politics. This small island nation, with its rich history, culture, and traditions, stands on the front line of a crisis created by all of us. The rising sea levels threaten not just a piece of land, but the identity, heritage, and future of 11,000 people who call Tuvalu home. Imagine being told that the place where your ancestors lived, where your family memories were made, and where your sense of belonging is rooted, could vanish beneath the waves forever. Tuvalu is more than just a distant, picturesque collection of islands in the Pacific Ocean. It represents resilience, simplicity, and the human spirit's ability to thrive even in the most delicate of environments. The thought that this way of life could be wiped out is profoundly heartbreaking. What is at risk is not just physical landmass, but a world of stories, traditions, and a community built on togetherness. These are people who fish the same waters their forebears did, who speak a language that may one day echo only in history books, and who celebrate life with a joy that feels timeless. The potential disappearance of Tuvalu should be a wake-up call for all of us. It is a painful reminder that climate change is not a distant threat. It is here, it is real, and it affects the most vulnerable first. The loss of Tuvalu would symbolize a collective failure to protect the very essence of our shared planet and its people. It begs the question, if we can't save a place as beautiful and fragile as Tuvalu, what does that say about our humanity? But there is hope. While the oceans are rising, so too can our determination to change course. The actions we take today can help save not just Tuvalu, but countless other vulnerable places facing similar fates. Reducing our carbon footprint, transitioning to renewable energy, supporting climate policies, and amplifying the voices of those on the front lines are steps within our reach. We have the power to make a difference, to ensure that future generations will still see Tuvalu's shores, experience its traditions, and celebrate its culture. We owe it to Tuvalu, to its people, and to ourselves to act with urgency and compassion. This is not just about saving an island. It's about preserving human dignity, history, and a piece of our global family. Every effort counts, and every moment matters. Because losing Tuvalu would not just be a tragedy for one nation, it would be a loss for us all. Let's choose hope. Let's choose action. Let's stand together to protect Tuvalu and, in doing so, protect our world.